Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to Mastering the Laws of Attraction. And today, yes, I'm talking about why there will not be another Black Wall Street unless this is done. And I know I've said this before, and I'm going to keep saying it because until this changes, we will not have it. And I'm telling you, we got to make this change. Now, for anybody who's racist as far as white people or Asian people or anybody else towards black people, understand this. You're in the body of America. The body of America are composed of different components. You're not going to get rid of an arm or a leg or any other part of the body. But if one part of the body has gangrene or is sick, then that part of that sickness will spread to the rest of the body. So the good health of every community, every race, every nationality financially is important to the body. You're part of the body. Get over it. Get over it. And for those black people who are racist towards the other groups or envious of the other groups or want to blame the other groups, all right, yes, atrocities has happened. Atrocities continue to happen, but the atrocities aren't happening on the level that they happen in Tulsa. All right, we're not getting the same. It's not the same. But the biggest reason, the biggest issue is the atrocity that's occurring within our own community. Within our own community. All right. Now, unless this is fixed, and there's a group of people they will be the harbingers of fixing this. And it would take these people. It's not a politician. It's not going to be an athlete or an actor or an actress. It's not going to be an activist. Those people aren't going to be able to create this change. There's only one group who can create this change, but unfortunately, they hide behind a book. They hide behind a 501c3. So you already know who I'm talking about. Now, if you look in this city in Atlanta right now, they tried to do Black Wall Streets in different parts of the city, but the momentum never occurred. The attraction never got going. Why? Why? I mean, you would think that consciously we would just make that decision. So it's not a go back to Africa and grab our culture. Because yes, the Asian guy comes over with his culture. The Spanish guy came over with his culture. The Jewish maintained their culture. All these other people maintained a culture that they came over here in the 19th century. All right? 19th, 20th century. They came over with it. We're in the 21st century now. So yeah, they came over with it. They was able to maintain it. So not 19th, but they came over. They maintained it. A guy from Vietnam today comes over to America. Guess what? He's going to a community that looks, sounds, speaks, eats the same way that he did the same thing that he had when he left. But we're not getting that. Black Americans, you're not that way. Okay, you're not. And we didn't come over here and we didn't conquer the land like the European. So we're not bringing and forcing our heritage on anybody either. Our heritage that came from Africa has been adopted and grafted into the Western culture. So our situation is different, meaning you cannot take the same path as other groups, all right? Because that's just not there. You can educate the black people in this country as much as you want about Africa and Egypt and everything like that, and that is good. But that is not going to cause them to start becoming community-centric. It's not going to happen. I don't even know if that's a real word, but it's not going to happen, all right? Not that way. It can happen, but not that way. We can't do it like other people. We have to create our own road. We have to do something totally different. And just because other organizations can hide behind the book and other organizations can hide behind a 50C13, we cannot in order for this to occur. So what am I talking about? For those who have seen some of my videos before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that in order for a Black Wall Street to happen, we have to have a mechanism. We have to utilize the only mechanism that is still around today in the black community that acts like Segregation Act. You see, segregation was a forced situation that said that if you go shop at this white business, they're going to call you boy. They're going to call you the N-word. They're going to treat you substandard. But if I go to this black store, they're going to treat me like a man. They're going to treat me like a woman. So I'm going to go to the black store. I'm not going to be treated foul. And if I go to this white store, not only would I be treated bad, there's a chance that a group, if they chose to, can lynch me, hang me, beat me, whatever me. But if I go to this black store, more than likely, that's not going to happen. So we don't have that kind of force mechanism. And believe me, major changes in societies generally happen because of some forced situation, a fear of life, a fear of survival is usually when some major change happens. There's no fear of survival now. So when integration came, we ran and spread out and we spent our money everywhere else because that community was dissolved. So guess what? What's the mechanism that still exists? Religion. Religion is the mechanism that still exists that could create the Black Wall Street. As I've said many times before, unless you get the black pastors to stand in their pulpit, and for every Sunday that they will ask for tithes and offering, they should be telling their congregation that these are the businesses that are in our church. We've certified them to make sure they're insured, they have their license, they're good to go as far as legal. They're legally good to go. Whatever your relationship is with them, however they, how they do their business, that's going to be on them. Their reputation will be built by them. And we are not responsible for anything that happens. But shop with these people. And businesses, when I tell them every Sunday to shop with you, hire from this church, build this community by hiring these people. That word gets out that the church is supporting business, that the people are getting jobs at this church. Guess what happens? Your church grows. More people are going to come there because you've done what? You haven't given people a fish of hope. You've taught them how to fish. And now that these people know how to fish, they will now come listen to your speech. So, and this is not about religion as far as right and wrong. So I don't even want to see that in the comments. All right. But the real question here is, the real situation here, can these pastors, these imams, these priests get over hiding behind the book? Can they get over hiding behind a 501c3? I've created a program that gets rid of your liability, that allows you to build your church, that allows you to build the community, that allows the church to be able to make money and not interfere with their 501c3 because they create a for-profit entity, that they also do business in the community, which will enable them to be able to do all their missions and bring more people in. And hell, you'll probably become a mega pastor. But it ain't gonna happen if you hide. If you hide behind, oh, we can't do business in the church because of the money and whatever. You're doing business every Sunday in the church. Do business now. You got a bookstore, you're doing business. All right, you have programs that people pay to come for your seminars, you're doing business. So don't hide behind that. You're money changing in the store, you're doing business. All right, so do real business that's going to help the community. All right, and I'm willing to do this. I'm willing to just help. I'm willing to help 5 churches. I'm willing to help 5 churches of at least 500 people in their church who are active. Not 500 on your roll and only 20, 30 show up. No, 500 active members. Because, an open fist, if fired off, you'll break your fingers. I need a closed fist. I need something that's going to make a punch. Something that's going to make a difference. Something that other communities, when they see it, it'll work. Imagine, you have to know the area, but imagine in the Lithonia area, if New Birth, Berean, New Covenant, just those 3 churches, and Fellowship maybe, all did that, Lithonia will become a haven of black business and employment. Just those 4 churches. It would change the entire community. So if you really want to see a Black Wall Street, then you need to share this video to all your pastors and all your imams and everybody else. If you really want a change, then share this video. Y'all have a great one. Your greatness is non-negotiable.